Hello and welcome to another episode of Recap Rewind for April 2024. I'm your host MineyCart, and today I'm once again joined by my fellow co-host Henrriik. Henrriik, are you still ill today?
A little bit, and I enjoyed how you said welcome back to another recap of April 2024, like it's the second one that we've done
It's
in
another
April
episode of Recap
2024.
Rewind, thank you, is what I'm welcoming people back to.
Fair
Mr.
enough, fair
Particular.
enough. Welcome everyone.
Welcome on in. And we also have our two special guests for today. This month's recap host extraordinaire, the man that stepped in at the last minute to take over from the person who was supposed to be voicing the recap when he couldn't do it. It's the wonderful Jamie. Hello, Jamie.
I am finally free from the cage. Woo! To get to enjoy all of HP6.
So many
The
runs.
magic of it all.
And also,
One.
we are
All
joined-
four annually.
We are also joined by Pilk Poke
No.
extraordinaire Paxilinski. And hello.
Hello. The kids nowadays just call me Triple P, so
You
that
have
might make it a bit
no
easier.
idea how many times I had to re-record saying Pope Pilk Pimp.
That
It's-
wasn't
it's
even
easy,
the
it's
script
Pimp
one.
Poke.
I think you
It's
added
like-
that in.
See. That's
Swap them.
I
even now.
had to like read it the way that that I put it, and I was like, I swear it's the other way around. But who cares? It's the Triple P. He's here.
I
Well,
mean,
technically,
The-
technically, it's the quadruple P
yeah.
true.
Pax,
True.
because I include the pimp in his name.
This is true.
Pax, the
Anyway.
Pope.
So, for those unfamiliar with a recap rewind, we start with our headlines of the month. So me and Henrriik, as ever, will quickly list through these headlines, taking turns as ever. And we start with
course.
Polygon 2024 submissions have opened, and by the time the recap came out, had closed on the schedule to come out. And in fact, the
Oh,
event is
yeah.
taking place next weekend. In fact, Saturday and Sunday, the 25th and 26th of May. I will be there. Pax will be there. Jamie will be there. Henrriik will not be there because he's busy. Damn it, Henrriik.
Henrik is away. Henrik
Well,
isn't home.
Henrriik has a life.
How much did Henrriik get live?
Wow, good job, Henrik.
Yeah, imagine. But speaking of stuff in the community, we also had our Wizengamot selections, specifically for PC categories. So we have a whole list of new people who have joined the community in moderating everything, including one of our fellow guests today, which is.
What do you mean one?
We're
Oh
both.
yeah, and Pax was
We're
also for HP2. I forgot.
We're
Sorry.
both.
I forgot.
Oh my
Sorry,
God,
Pax.
Henrriik.
No, that's fine.
Am I the only
Disrespecting
person who has
guests.
who can't verify anything? I need to submit an application to verify 5 GBA.
Like I'm specifically like constantly watching the moderation hub, just in hopes that like something of HP6 will come through the gaps. Like it did the other day. Like the other day, I finally
All
got to
4
verify my
runs
first thing.
annually. We'll talk more about that one later, but it's not all for the community stuff, is it, now, Miney?
No, there is one more community thing, and that is Beat Nixer. The Beat Nixer challenge was started by Liam as a sort of a spin-off, you could say, to the Great Labour Grind, which is the mysterious but not so mysterious challenge of everyone in the community going basically against Nixer, trying to stop him from beating his top 10 all leaderboard challenge, and that is proven quite well for them this month because Nixer took a break to get ill, apparently. Why is everyone getting
Spend time
ill?
with Sonia Douglas _.
Thank you, Jim.
True.
Heavy emphasis on the underscore.
Legally
More
binding.
on-
Legally
more on that next
binding.
month.
But that's not all we have to say about Liam, who has whose name is typos on my notes as Lima. Who has this month broken one of Flo's old world record, which was for one PC boostless. Basically, he was the world record holder since the category was introduced. He was like the first run, and he just had the world record. But then Flo noticed that he had lost one of his world records, and he said, "No can do," and he took it right away. So, well, that was a good attempt, Liam. We salute you.
Yeah, nice try, Liam. But one of the things that helped Flo to reclaim his world record was a new time save file by Tavern in HP1 PC, which saves 10 seconds in any percent and 40 seconds. But actually, I believe it's 30 seconds. I believe the note here isn't quite right. I believe it ended up being 30 seconds from what Tavern time for me when we were discussing it in 100%. And that is a pretty big trick. It basically stops you from having to touch Fred and George on the way up to Lumos, which saves you a bunch of time.
Yeah. And speaking still of H1 PC, everyone just likes to run trifecta, I guess. Flo, again, has achieved another world record, reaching 99 consecutive world records in all sorts of different categories, which was high jump. Yeah, he got it. And then he had it stolen back, this time by Vlad, who we don't talk about enough, but is constantly grinding different categories in different games. So we're very happy to see Vlad getting a world record.
Yeah,
I
and
do
Vlad
actually
still holds
wonder
that world
though.
record.
I do wonder though what Flo's 100th record will be.
He's dipped above and below a bunch of times now. He has hit it once this
But
month.
for
I think.
this time, but for
True.
this time, what
I mean,
what
technically,
will
I think
be
he's
the
got
record that
one
sets it?
because he got 6 DS, didn't he, today?
That's for the next recap.
That's next recap. Shh.
Stop
I'm
spoiling.
I'm the
My
master here. I can spoil whatever the fuck I want.
Miney
Oh,
gives me the bollocking for
fine good,
spoilers.
Miney.
I'm
You
getting
have the
told off for
little
spoilers.
red
Spoilers,
donut
told
in
off
the
for
corner.
swearing. Anyway,
You can't be saying that.
speaking of Flo, he went on a CE rampage this month, taking boostless, HP Wizard card, and no major glitches, which is funny because HP Wizard card, that actually got changed back the last time Jamie hosted the recap.
Yeah.
So it's funny that it's come back around again.
Yeah, and it's
Oh
not
boy.
all CEs in HP2 PC that Flo has achieved stuff in. He also got another recce, this time in HP2 Glitchless, meaning that for I believe up until the end of April at the very least, he holds every single main leaderboard category world record in the 3 trifecta games, HP1 PC, HP2 PC, and HP3 PC, which is, needless to say, an incredible achievement because you need a lot of different skills for different categories. So, GG.
That man's
Very
built
much
different.
GG's indeed. Speaking of Glitchless, we have the Glitchless Speed Tourney, which Pax here took part in. We'll be talking more to him about that later. But Beekind dominated that tournament, and Pax was also responsible for funding and producing sending the 2 trophies, both for the
Financing.
Glitchless B.
Mainly.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Jamie. The
Distributing.
Glitchless B and the Glitchless A tournament trophies, and we'll be talking to Pax a little bit about that in our deep dive discussion. So stay tuned for that. But that was the only crowning achievement this month, was it, Henrriik?
Oh no, we still have a bunch more, but this time in different consoles. Yes, we're moving away from the PC finally. In HP1 PS1, probably the best-selling Harry Potter video game of all time, unless you count Hogwarts Legacy. There was we got a new super speed world record. This is an incredibly niche category where you play it on an emulator and you don't cap the frame rate, so it just runs wild. And because the game speed is timed to the frame rate, Harry just zooms, the whole game logic just zooms, and not a lot of people actually run the category, unfortunately. But Emma was one of the people who decided to find some new tech, specifically for this category, and of course got a new world record to boot. So GG.
I will clarify. Pac-Man got the world record using the
Oh,
tech that Emma
never
found.
mind. I forgot. I should have
Yeah,
written that one.
Yeah,
Fair, the note isn't very clear. But yeah, Pac-Man got the world record with the tech that Emma found, which is basically skipping the intro cutscene when you go to Diagon Alley. When you talk to Hagrid, and he's like, "I'm gonna go have a beer with some friends," or whatever he says. But
I'm
essentially,
gonna
you
They-
can
go
skip
have a
it.
drink with my friends there, Harry.
That one.
Hello, Harry. It's
Essentially-
me. Hagrid.
Now
Good to
fuck
see
off
ya.
while I go have a butterbeer.
All right,
I'm off
Hagrid. All
being
right,
drunk,
Hagrid. That's
Hagrid.
enough, Hagrid. Calm down.
Not like
We
you
all
get
channeled
normal.
our inner Hagrid.
Here, we just need Finn, and
We
we'll
all
have a
channeled our
performance of
inner
Hagrid.
Hagrids.
No,
That's
but
true, actually.
yeah, the trick is incredibly simple, and it skips that cutscene and saves, I think, about 20 seconds. But yeah, Emma
It
found
just goes
it.
to show the amount of potential that there is in this category. That I feel like
Indeed.
if a lot of people tried it, a lot of people would enjoy it.
Yes. Speaking of potential in different categories,
Ooh.
as some people would say, because you can't emulate love, can you, Henrik?
Ooh, not indeed. I
And
see where this is going.
yes, 5GBA has had an emulated split for all categories. First with any percent, and then later down the line with no save corrupt and 100%. And lots of people took advantage of that, didn't they, Henrik?
Yes, indeed. We got a lot of different world records and solid runs getting broken left, right, and center. For a while there, Flo actually decided to finally play 5GBA emulated and took the record with a quite impressive 2 minutes, 14 seconds, and 900 milliseconds. Keep in mind that if you're comparing to the old time where emulated runs had a penalty, the penalty no longer applies, so all the times are a little bit lower than you might be used to.
1.1
But
seconds, to be exact.
Flow isn't the world record right now because iMac, Polish runner, has decided to grind it down even further to a 2 minute 14 seconds 767 milliseconds, which still stands as the world record at this moment and means that due to all of these runs, flows, and IMAX, I got pushed down from my podium finish to 5th, and I'm not happy about it, and I will take it back one day.
Let's get good. Easy.
Sorry, randomly, when you mentioned Blur's name, he DM'd me. Like, literally, as you said his name, he DM'd me. And I'm like, what the
That's
fuck?
creepy.
It's
Yeah.
a premonition that
It is
that Flo
indeed.
had.
Also, I've just realised that the message I just sent back to him was really confusing. Hang on. We'll look later. He's just asking me if I have I can look at the Tourney time start for him for an all wizard card run. Anyway, moving on though to 4GBA, where the start time has finally been moved. Speaking of flow, a trick was found by Cosmic in November to basically do a character selection skip. When you select a character, the character does a little animation to have a little celebration. Yay, you pick me! And effectively, we don't want them to celebrate, we want them to get on with it. So you can now skip that. It saves, I believe, 1.9 seconds. And all the times have now been updated. I know because I went through and did it, and it was very, very time consuming. But it was a lot. I quite enjoy doing monotonous tasks, I have to say. But yes, the time.
Monotonous tasks.
At least you enjoy it. And now then, from a full series game to an old HP game, we're not going to a Hogwarts Legacy just yet, but a non-full series game. That's right, we're talking about my beloved, second only to 5GBA, 5PSP. Yes, we had our first Hundo run. Of course, you might be wondering, where on earth can I find those PSP leaderboards? And you can find them in the category extensions, which is a little bit hidden out of the way, just so people don't confuse it with the full series.
It's the upside down
game.
one.
Yeah, it's the upside down one on the SRDC page. And finally, it has a Hundo run. Luzak decided to play through the whole game on an emulator. This is the important part. And managed to finally finish a hundo in just over 3 hours, which is really impressive considering the amount of content that is still present in the PSP game. And of course, there is still quite a lot more optimization to go, and we hope to see a sub 3 hours soon, especially because there's been a couple of skips found since then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Indeed.
boy.
And finally, for this month's headlines, a strange rivalry seems to have sprung up in Hogwarts. Sorry, Hogwarts Legacy first day
Hogwarts.
intro story on Switch. Yes, in
Yeah,
the
Switch. It's mentioned.
yes, the Switch Hogwarts Legacy leaderboards have sprung up with a rivalry between Islia and Czech runner Evangeleri. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that name. Jamie
I
obviously
I I
pronunciation.
yeah, I just said Evangeleri, yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounded good. But yeah, that is a rivalry which has spread into next month. But like Jamie said in the recap, we won't be spoiling that here. So be sure to check out next month's recap if you want to hear more about that. All right, thank you,
The,
Henrik.
the funny thing though is for the script you gave me, I could say that entire thing in one breath. Normally, I had to extend it to say on the Nintendo Switch, just so I sounded a little bit more out of breath for saying it.
It seems longer
Even
than it
ill.
is. I think
Even
when you
ill.
read it, you're like, oh, it's not actually that. It feels quite long.
Yeah. It's I just want to. I just had to include the Nintendo part just so I actually.
If you wanted more, you can
see.
say like what Nintendo say in their commercials, which is the Nintendo Switch family of systems. Just so it's overextended by a little bit more.
True.
But yeah, it's not that hard.
And I will quickly touch on this before we get to the cast. Google Docs is annoying because I finished the script. I said thanks for watching, and Google Docs is like, this isn't quite right. Maybe you should try thanks for reading. And I'm like, no, I'm writing a script that's going to be spoken. Thank you for listening.
I mean, does Google
watching.
Docs know?
Technology, eh?
It doesn't.
Does
Anyway,
it know? It isn't.
Quickly going to look through our credits because we've got, as always, a wonderful bunch of people working on these episodes. The wonderful Jamie, of course, who we've got here, was hosting it. I wrote the majority of the script with some additional writing provided by Nikki. The closed captions were provided by Winter, or will be. The flow board record was used with permission from the wonderful Momo, who is an absolute giga chad, and I think Momo deserves all the love and appreciation, not just for that, but just generally. Momo is a wonderful person. And it was edited by me with gameplay footage provided by for 1PS1 for Flow, GBA was provided by Beaver, and Legacy was provided by Illish. So, we're going to get into our stories that deserve more love. But before we do, I have one small correction that came in from Ratburn. Thank you, Ratburn. I cannot believe I missed this because I was writing this part of the script and I was like, something feels off with this. Like, it doesn't quite sound right. And that is that it was actually Human that held the world record for Glitchless for HP2 PC before Flo took it. It was not Cake. Cake's run was done afterwards. So while Cake is technically now second place, he was not the person that Flo beat. That was Human. So I apologise for that small error there.
Was it Bill?
Yeah.
It was. It actually was. I should know that as the
The
world record.
insane glitchless runners, to be honest.
Yes.
All
So,
three of them.
Stories
Shows how
that
much I pay
deserve...
attention.
So our stories that deserve more love is essentially stories from across this month that we feel individually that deserve a bit more love, and sort of people should know about. And I think for this one, I'm going to start things off with Henrriik because to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure about this one.
I have one. Okay, it's 5 GBA, but it's not what people think.
Oh,
I wanted to emphasize something that was brought onto my attention before, which is the fact that Flo in his HP5 GBA any percent emulator grind was the first person with the new timing in place, removing the penalty on emulator because it doesn't make sense because the categories are split. The boards are split, sorry. Flo got the first 2 minute 2 minutes and 14 second run, which is very, very impressive considering the amount of optimization that Cosmic had already put into his world record before, timing the A presses in the cutscenes even. So for Flo to swoop in and get a sub 215, which is quite a round number to get the sub off, is very impressive. And then of course, iMac decided, no, screw you, I'll get this one now, and took a world record away from Flo, which Flo hasn't recovered since. One of the few cases where that's happened, surprisingly few, which just goes to show also the insane optimization that iMac put into his run. So that's my story. Thank you.
Alright then, Jamie, what is your story that deserves more love this month?
Oh god. I can't actually think of anything in particular other than kind of, well, it's already been mentioned, but Potter gone though.
So,
True.
Like
Okay.
just not just because because that it's already out of for the schedule, but being last again. What I say being the final run at the tourney, not tourney. Jesus Christ, the final run
Event.
of the entire event. It's like having that honor 2 years in a row is just, it's like, damn. Like
Can I
yeah,
tell you
go on.
something? We
Yeah.
were looking at the schedule and we all agreed who were in that meeting that we should end with that because it felt like such an amazing end last year, and we felt like it should be a
Yeah.
tradition that as long as you submit it and we accept it, that we'll put it at the end because it's just a really good way to end the event and sort of bring it
It's
back to Harry Potter, which I think is good then in the build up to Potter Con. You know, to sort of bring the Potter
Yeah.
back in, so to speak.
Yeah,
I-
closing it out with
I
something
mean,
later.
the little hint for this year is that I'm actually going to including 30 speedrunners this year. And so instead of the mix of of runners and HP characters and community memes, because everyone's favorite Kenai and Chungus and Bonsai. But
Yeah.
yeah, which as of recording this, I'm about halfway done through it. So
Oh, you have a little over a week at the time of recording, so.
You'll get there.
but as
But yeah,
but as a little spoiler for who's going to be a part of
sneak
it,
peek.
everyone who's currently in this call is actually going to be in there.
Ah,
I am
Phil-
very
oh.
nervous to see what you've done for me, but I'm excited to.
I can't wait, honestly.
The thing is, I already have an idea in mind. If I can find a dicky bow, I'm gonna put it straight on Henrriik.
Wonderful.
He's gonna enter it. He's gonna be like the most smartly dressed person who's gonna be in the rumble.
Of course.
I love that.
And
That's great.
I think for you, Miney, I'm gonna have to ask
Yeah. As long as I have my bow tie.
for more kind of personalization on yours.
Okay, it can be sorted out. But yeah, I think it's gonna be an incredible way of closing out the event, but especially because it's just the same as last edition of Pottergon. It's an incredible way of saying that a lot of the people you recognize as mainly Harry Potter speedruns or that have Harry Potter speedrunners can actually be very, very versatile in the games that they play. I mean, we have platformers, both 2D and 3D. We have RPGs, we have racing games, we have horror games, we have puzzle games, we have everything in between and beyond. We have 2 Lego games, which makes me really happy because I really enjoy the Lego game speedruns. And to close it out with a list of a lot of celebrities from the community and me, it's gonna be a right old riot.
I am really looking forward to the last couple of runs because you've got Beaver's secret game submission, which I'm really excited to see
100%.
people work out what it is.
It's a 100%
I
secret
haven't seen
game.
anyone
Yes, indeed,
guess it
because we don't know.
correctly. And for anyone that's listening, it's not on beaverspeedrun.com page. He has deleted his runs of it. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
what I
yet.
imagined. That's gonna be very, very
Then you've
interesting.
got the chess run, which V8's doing, which we're going to be incentivizing. The Pokemon White chess run, and then you've got Jamie's run, which I think is just going to be a really great way to end the event, and I'm really looking forward to it. But speaking of the event, someone else who will be there with me, helping me to run the event, will be the wonderful Paxilinski. So Pax, what is your story that deserves more love this month?
So I got some time to think actually about it because I was also having trouble to find something. But since we were talking about the month of April and we had like the 1st of April in there, I think the biggest April Fool's joke that happened last month was probably Nixos. I think it got the most people when he actually announced that he would not continue the top 10 grind, and I think it was like community wide the biggest one that got a lot of people.
It
Yeah.
didn't get me. I don't know what you're talking about. I definitely didn't think it was real for a good half a day, and then I remember
Were you
what day
thinking
it
about
was.
deleting the?
I
Yeah,
had my mind royally screwed over by Smosh. I will say, for those that know Smosh will know what I'm referring to. But they like dropped
Oh,
a
the reunion.
bombshell. Not the reunion, but they
Oh.
announced that two of their long shipped people that had long since said they weren't together. They announced that they got married, and a lot of people were like, "Is this an April Fool's? Is this real?" It turned out it was real. But there were so many people like looking back. It's like, oh, this happened and this happened. So my brain was fried that day. So that's my excuse for getting fooled by Nick says April Fools. My brain was fried to death.
Oh, poor Miney.
Casual mindfuck right there.
I did the other April Fools that I didn't enjoy, although I think most people clocked it immediately, was the one we did for the PC Discord, where we announced that we were banning Flo because he was just too good.
I was heavily disappointed when I found out that was such an April Fool's troll. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah, that one was.
We all could have had
obvious,
a
it was just
chance to
kind of
be world
obvious.
record holders at that point.
It did get Cosmic pretty good. Cosmic genuinely thought it. Cosmic thought it was a joke, I think, but didn't realize what day it was. And then when someone pointed it out, he was like, "Oh." He was like,
Oh, okay, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was pretty obvious that it
reading
was a
that
joke,
was just
so they
fucking
were-
hilarious.
I put a lot
Yeah,
of
I read
effort
like the
into that.
first line. I read like the first line of it and I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Because like I also did not realize what day it is, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I read it completely and I was like, okay, yeah, no, fair enough. Okay.
So
I
funny thing
was
about that.
like, fuck yeah.
Funny thing
Sorry.
about that post. You're fine. I wrote it originally and I had to change part of it because it made it sound like he was dead. And I'm like, no, he's not dead. He's just being banned from the community. I read it through and I'm like, hang on, I might need to
Flo
reword
has
that
been
slightly.
banished to Shadow Realm.
News
Like-
just
coming back.
news just in. Flow Speed found dead in the bunny pen.
Alfred has had enough.
Let me find this post real quick so I can reread it to remind myself what bit it was.
All
But there
right.
was a bit
While
in
mine
it.
is searching. While mine is searching.
I found
Jamie, you
it.
had something you wanted to say.
When it was first going out, I was like, oh fuck yeah, people get more opportunities for records. Like, oh shit, it's probably an April Fool's. Damn.
I like how people wanted it to be real just because it's Flo.
I wanted Nikki to be number one in the Potions Rush, but then I realized that kind of like the timing for that. Katashi was slowly getting in his time for it, but if it actually banned Flow, Nikki would have actually been world
A
All
lot
of the
of people would
potions
have
rush.
been world record holders if we went flow.
I've just reminded myself of what it was. It was the fact that originally the fact that he was banned wasn't mentioned till like quite far down. So it was just like sort of like deeply troubling news relating to Flow 203, and I'm like, oh, because like for those of you that are sadly aware, last July, we actually did have to share some news sadly of a community member passing. So I wanted to make sure that very quickly no one thought that was what it was. It was that we were memeing about him being banned. And I will say that was my idea to make that post, and I spent about 10 hours coming up with different hours trying to come up with different ideas, like changing the Discord icons around. I thought that could be quite funny, but could confuse a lot of people. We were gonna. One of the ideas I had, which I was like, no, we'd be murdered, was announcing we've decided to completely roll back the glitchless rules and rebuild the rule set from the ground up. And I was like, no,
Oh
'cause
wow,
we will
120
be
FPS, let's
murdered.
go.
We will be royally murdered.
Oh yeah, people would have been probably really pissed.
Oh, they would have been. So I'm glad we went with the more memey before I got banned. I'm honestly not sure what we'll do next year if I'm still a prefect.
If
Flow's got some banned again.
if that was the case and all the run sets repurged, I would have been straight on there, trying to nab my first HP world record.
I'd
instead of-
imagine what it would have been is that we'd have, if that did ever happen, not that I ever think it will, we'd move that board to say CE, and then which would be a nightmare to move that board. Can you imagine moving that board over to another leaderboard? I don't really want to think about that. Actually, no, to be fair, Mark has made programs to do it before. Anyway, before this episode gets too long, my story that deserves more love is quite a simple one, to be honest, and it's the fact that Nixo took a break this month. For me, I think it's not recognised enough that people take breaks and do self-care. And obviously a part of it was sadly because he was ill, but also because he was spending time with Sonia, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's the last time she's coming to visit him before he moves to Romania in a couple of weeks' time. So
it's a couple of weeks.
At the end of
jeez.
So
next month, I
think it's important to draw attention to people doing self-care, because I think that's something, especially in the speedrun community.
Around my birthday.
Take care of your physical and mental health, please.
Yeah, don't do stupid runs like Pro Series 100% RTA. Looking at you, Beaver. Anyway,
it reminds me of when Flo got partnered and he also had to take a break afterwards because he had been just playing full series and handle factors in a row.
He'd been
to get partnered.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, I can take a week off, finally. And then he went back to streaming right away.
Moving to our deep dive discussion now, which is mainly around the Glitchless tournament and the trophies, of course, as we've got back here. But also we'll talk a bit, because we've got 2 new mods around the Wizengamot election. I think we'll start actually with the Wizengamot election, because that happened technically after, but it's the shorter of the 2, so I think we'll start with that. I'm going to ask you both, Jamie and Pax, and we'll start with Pax, I think. What made you want to apply in this election for you HP2 and for Jamie HP6?
So I was told that it would be a go-to, like it would make a really good impression on like a Tinder profile. So I decided to actually apply, and gladly I was taken. I'll keep you updated on the matches though, because like so far I have not seen a difference. But I'll keep you posted.
I would match up with you if I was in Germany, Pax.
I can put up my radius.
I would see HP2 moderator, and I would be like,
if that's but if that works, Pax, oh damn, I would create my own profile.
I mean, you're just gonna ask Flo, because Flo literally submitted a run, and I think it was an all wizard card or something. And he actually wrote in the description of the run that this run is for me to verify. So I can put it on my Tinder bio.
There was
I was there when the world record was
submitted a run. Portal submitted a run like, after you dropped a bunch of subs on him, and he was like, "This is a tribute to Pax." And for like, again, this is a weird theme apparently this episode, but for like a good 10 minutes, I'm like, "Did Pax die or something?" And I'm like, and I went back and looked at
Yeah.
the chat, and I'm like, "Ah, that makes more sense." I assume the worst for some reason.
I actually don't remember because I maybe was a bit drunk that evening, and I kind of did not remember what I've done, and I just like sometime down the road I noticed that Portal has asked me like 3 or 4 times already what run I want to see since I donated subs, and I was just like, yeah, let's do Warbless, I guess. But yeah.
Jamie, same question to you then.
Well, I obviously applied last year and got 50%, which unfortunately did not allow progression to go through, thanks to Mark's rules on picking Wizen. You have to get 50 above
Over 50,
50%,
yeah.
but I was exactly on 50, so it's like, okay, I'll try again. Yes, this year I'll say HP6 PogChamp because it is, and hopefully that improves my chances. It did. It was like it was above 60, I think.
I think so. Let me double check. But yeah, you both
I
did really
was-
well
Yeah.
this election.
Except in HP2, in which I thought I would fucking meme the shit out of it and be like, I'll try. There's no guarantee, so I'm just gonna be like, yeah, Portal's kidnapped me and forced me into something else I didn't want to do.
Yeah,
So
I think
Pax got a solid 66% in his election win for HP2, and Jamie got a 72% for HP6.
an 18.5
Three people voted against me.
in
Everyone knew you at least. They didn't say I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. For HP5, I don't know votes.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, some people either might not have wanted to vote either way and might have treated that as an abstain. You can just
Yeah,
not
there was no
vote.
abstain, yeah.
There is
Vote.
the abstaining is just not voting for that specific option. The form is not like each of the options aren't mandatory. Maybe
I don't
that's
think
something we should
everyone
make
understood.
more clear.
And also
Yeah.
some people just show up when they hear, oh, elections, I can vote for this. And
I
they
mean,
just show up and vote, and they don't really know many people in the community.
I'm not gonna say who
That's-
voted in
and,
this
and the
election
people who
because
don't stream
yeah, that feels
much
against
don't
the way
show
of
up.
being things.
That's
But
that's the
yeah.
great part, though. Like last year, I didn't get in, but I wasn't the lowest voted for person this year
No, you
No,
because
really well.
it was pie track.
Peter, yeah.
And honestly, I say I was one of the I don't know votes because I had no idea who pie track was.
Yeah, if I could have voted back then, I would have said I don't know. But Pitrak has actually been around a lot of HP3 runners lately, and
yeah.
they are slowly
Oh,
improving their time.
I think
So
I think
well, that's why.
I think they need to be a little bit more involved in the community itself. But
Yeah.
afterwards, I would say sure. They
not to get
they
too much
definitely have
into
the
the
technical knowledge. Yeah.
not to get too much into the
So
politics of the voting and everything. But yeah, I think
no,
Petrarch
not at all.
is. I admire the bravery to jump in so quickly, but I think because he's so new to the community, it did result in
Isn't
a lot of those I don't know votes.
at the time of recording, isn't like fifth or something or sixth?
He's very
I-
high up on the
I need to check.
leaderboards. He's got like a
Yeah,
47,
it's been
I think.
really
Like,
improving
he's
it really
not-
fast.
Like nothing to shake a stick at, but I think just that runner, like knowing of the person, like he's probably the most unknown person on the list. Also, I do have to add a slight correction. because I was informed that I made a mistake with the counting of the votes, and I did, and I apologise. I double checked everything else; it was all fine. This was the only issue. That Dino unfortunately did not get a 100% for. There was one person who was the person that came back to me because they knew they voted against him. Who voted against him. So
Well,
unfortunately, and I hate to break it to,
oh,
because the funny thing is, I'd big Dino up during the week. I'm like, you got 100% votes, like you're doing really well. And now
was on
I
the
look
verge of
back and I'm like,
breaking.
it's not true, and I'm like, I'm sorry,
It
I
was
didn't
this
mean to.
close.
Just imagine this. Your face as soon as that message was sent through.
I literally, as soon as that person, trying very hard not to say their name, as soon as that
Please
person
don't.
messaged me, I went straight back through and I was checking all the votes. And I'm like, please tell me I'm massively messed this up. I was like, please, please.
It's okay though. It's not me because don't have a HP5 run.
So apparently, according to my mathematics, then Dino would have a 91.66666666666 eternal percentage of approval, which would mean that Mark was the most approved of person.
It's Mark. It's Mark.
Yeah,
Everyone knows Mark.
he's been around for so long that I think just everyone at least no one voted the I don't know option, which just goes to show how long he's been around and
Who
how
are you?
helping
You
out he
even
is.
go here? All right.
Hmm?
We're gonna before we move on from the elections, I want to ask both of you, how did you feel when you saw my post about the results and you saw that you gotten in? What was that moment like?
S- well, I thought it was just the Atta everyone. So,
Oh yeah.
I went in thinking I ain't got no chance at all, and I see the everyone, and then I see a at in the Wizen, and it's like, oh, okay, never mind.
Oh yeah, the
I
channel
am
opens
in.
up for you. You see the Wizengerod channel.
So what? I made it. What?
I
Oh,
tell you, that
was it
day.
was it my Mimi HP2 or was it HP6 I finally managed to get?
Pax, same question to you.
Yeah, I was actually a bit not nervous, but I was actually a bit yeah, let's keep it with nervous, I guess.
Anxious,
'Cause
perhaps.
anxious maybe, yeah, also. Because I remembered my application for prefect like the year before, like at the end of the year. And I got a lot of I don't know that person kind of votes as well. And so I feared the same thing would happen again. But I actually got elected and then I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Thank you.
You did very well,
I was
especially in
glad.
HP2. Like HP2 is polling with 27 people. Like, not to discredit Jamie's HP6 achievement, but HP6, for example, only has 11 people voting. Like, HP2 had 27. So, like, you did incredibly well. Also, I'm going to have a minor mining rant and say, please, if you are voting in Wizengamot elections, only vote in the games that you have runs in, as that is the rule. The amount of people I had to, like, I literally double check about everyone's run.
I can't imagine.
It was like, okay, do they have runs? I'm like, no, they don't have an HP2 run. Why are they voting in HP2? So
I accidentally
please,
made that mistake last year, and before the elections, Miney was like, Henrriik, don't
please,
do it.
don't do it
And I
again.
was like, I know. I've learned from my past mistakes. I know how to read now.
And he did, to be fair, his vote. It was really weird because you've obviously only got an HP5, haven't you?
No, I only
Oh,
have in the
does it-
CE all portraits, which doesn't allow me to vote in the main leaderboard of HP5, which I think is a little bit
I
backwards.
think
But
I
okay.
think I think C
I should be allowed.
should count.
Yeah, I still had to run the game. I ran like half of any percent
I think
and
the
like a
discussion-
quarter of 100%. I know how the game works.
the thing with CEs, I think, is like it's mainly HP2.
At least allow me
with
in the
like
CE.
there's a lot of like just really quick CEs. And like you're not applying. I think the thing is you're not applying to be mod for CE. You're applying to be mod for the main game. So I feel like
Yeah,
having people
if
who
I could
run
apply,
the main game be the people that can vote for you, I think is the fair way
Yeah.
to do it.
if I could apply to just validating CEs in 5PC, I would be happy already. But I can't apply and I can't vote. I wouldn't say apply at all. I don't say I want to verify HP5 runs. I just think that I could have a slight voice. I don't know. There's no perfect answer.
I was
That's no
originally
perfect
on
answer.
the fence about CEs, but then Miney just made me a CE mod anyway.
What you doing there on
No,
the
I
fence?
didn't
Get out
make it.
of
I
there.
would say Flo did. But I was talking to you
Okay,
about it.
floated then.
We were talking about it, weren't we? And I was just like, if you feel uncomfortable at any point, you can just remove yourself. And he's like, we'll go on then. So I was like, make Jamie a CE mod.
And then the first error run I got to verify was a CE. Luckily, I was in HP6. It's fine.
Yes.
It's fine. It's in
It
HP6,
was in
so
HP6.
it's legal for me to do it.
Yeah,
Good,
it must be
good.
horrible to be mod for CE and multi-run, by the way, when it's just those runs that you can't touch, like the Lowcast run at the moment in the queue, and it just sits there. Like I know Blaze said he understands why it takes a while to verify those runs, so he doesn't not complaining about that. But he's more like it's just annoying because every time you open speedrun.com, there's just a little one, and it's like I can't do anything about it.
The person who I actually feel most sorry for is Rusovetic with the Quidditch World Cup.
It takes a lot of time to verify.
It takes a lot of time to verify, and not a lot of people submit to it. So it's just chilling.
I am glad that he's been
a lot of
added
time to
to-
verify, but Russo is now a mod for Quidditch World Cup.
And it was very much like
This is
I'm
very
very happy
active.
about that for recap purposes because it always took us like extra longer to cover his stuff because it would take so long to get verified. I've also suggested to Flo that he gets added as a GBA mod as well because I just think.
Did we? Okay, I have to ask because this has been nagging me since the end of February. And I don't remember if we included that in the February recap or anymore because it's been quite a while. Did we cover the fact that Rusovetic has all of the world records in the Quidditch World Cup main leaderboard?
I don't know if we did or not, but yeah, he has all.
Because
he has all Quidditch World Cup world records. Never mind main leaderboard. He's got both.
Yeah,
CEs
exactly.
As well. Like he's got all 8 Quidditch World Cup runs.
I do remember for my hosting
insane.
last time mentioning Rusovetic getting a Quidditch World Cup
It's insane.
world record in.
It is insane.
Anyway, let's move
Even
on
all
to
the
the
insane
main.
percent.
Yeah, thank you, Henrik. Very good.
Sorry.
Very good.
sorry.
You're
I was
fine.
distracted.
Let's move on to talk about the Glitchless B tournament, and I think we'll start with a Mr. Paxilinski because I want to talk to you a little bit about these trophies because, like,
They're very
it's not
snazzy.
normal, obviously, for us to do any sort of physical reward for these tournaments.
Anything, to be honest.
Partly because of like the fact that we're all across the world, but partly because there's always this like concern about it becoming too much about like too sweaty, I guess. So my question, first question I'd say to you, Pax, is I assume it was very much a conscious decision to announce the trophies right before the final rather than at the top of the tournament to prevent stuff like that, or was that for another reason?
No, exactly. So we wanted to keep it a secret, like until the very end. Like we announced it in both tournaments, the right before the finale. And that was Nixo's decision because I said we should announce it as late as possible, but obviously it's his tournament, so I wanted to leave it to him at the end of the day. But yeah, he made the decision that we do like a small segment before the break ends of the finale, or the final runs, basically. And I think it worked out very well. It was still like fair and gentleman-like games. So yeah, it worked out in the end.
I think it was definitely the right decision, and I will say, I've said this before and I'll say it again, Nixo's tournaments, like what I love, like Portal's tournaments, for example, because they're always like really creative. There's a certain like level of absolute professionalism about Nixo's tournaments that I really like. Like he thinks about everything,
Well,
he works really hard.
except for our commentary.
Oh yeah, true. We'll get to that later because that was an interesting commentary. But I love that about Nix's tournaments, and it really just feel like he thinks through everything. I guess my next question for you then, Pax, is how early on was this an idea? Like when? I guess where and when did this idea come up?
Oh shit, I would actually need to check, but it was planned a long time, honestly. Like how the whole idea got started was I randomly came up with the idea like, well shit, what do I do with my money? You know, it was a casual day.
Common problem
And
on this. Okay.
I wish I had those.
Who should
Very
I
relatable,
give
Pax,
100
very
subs to
relatable.
this week?
Yeah, relatable. Very much.
as you know me, like that's a usual problem, like not knowing what to do. And I was like, okay,
Well, I'll
wait,
tell you what you
Glitchless
could
Tourney
do.
is coming
You
up.
could donate your money to the Trevor. No, sorry. Carry on.
The Trevor Project.
You're already preparing the
at
script
this upcoming
for the
Potagon.
event.
Sorry,
Wait,
go.
I thought all of the charity money would go to my bank. Okay, never mind. That's like a different topic.
That's called
Yes.
money laundering, but sure.
Your money.
You can try it out.
To give back to the community.
You can try
Miney
it out.
we would maybe need to talk about that again. I'm not so sure if I want to help out in the tech team anymore.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
I thought it was my
Oh,
payment.
God.
Okay.
This is the thing that I find funny because you said about that. I made the joke to Miney when I hosted last time. It's like, so yeah, I'll just be taking the ad revenue for that month for hosting, yeah. And mine's
What
like
ad revenue?
ad revenue.
We're not
like,
even
ah.
monetized. We don't even have like 100 subs. Never mind 1,000. Speaking of which, subscribe to the
Oh my
MineyCart channel if
goodness.
you haven't already.
Did you
Anyway,
know
sorry.
that you might think you're subscribed, but you're not that? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but sorry, Pax, go on with what you were saying.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, it was a long process. I was talking to a lot of people about it. I think mainly Winter, because I just wanted to get some input from someone in general, and we were struggling, especially because of like the topic. Okay, you make it about money, you give like out of prize money, and then people will start it, like it's not like that we want to say that people would do that, but you know, like you just do it subconsciously, like you play better because obviously you want to win more even.
Yeah.
And so we thought like, okay, what would be, and like how much even, and then the idea came up with, okay, what about a trophy? And I liked the idea, and so I pitched it to Nixo, and I was like, okay, what do you think? Like, I want to do something. I don't want to make it like too bad. Like, with money would have probably made it. So, what do you think about like trophies? And I searched out like a few trophies I thought looked cool, and I sent it to Nixo, and he was like, yeah, okay, we can do that. So yeah, that's kind of how that got to be.
So you're saying it's not about the money, it's about sending a message.
Yes, exactly.
Good, yeah.
Jolly good.
I think
And the fact that Pax wants to know your information for advertising and marketing reasons.
yeah, of course.
You know.
You just get a bunch of spam mail sent to your house. Like, gee, I wonder where this came from.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
I think it was
What
definitely
this kind of pilk?
the right way to go with like the trophy. I think especially because there was such a like a debate this tournament, particularly with the A tournament, about Frogstrat and like its inclusion. I feel like if it had then come out, you'd come out at the end and say we've got a cash prize. I think that might have, really not gone
Let
down well.
people even more.
Yeah. So I think the fact that it was just not to say that the trophies are meaningless, because obviously they're not, but like it's different. You know what I mean? Like
It was a bit
like
poorly timed
Can't sell
with
those, yeah.
the whole only just finding out about as Nixo fucking I said Nicto as Nicto called it frogging, which to this day me and I still think you Miney think is a really sus name for it.
Yeah, I started spamming the name Frogging as well, and then it
Uh,
got
we got
on.
frogging, pegging, and then we do stuff with mushrooms.
Because people only really started using Frogging regularly after I did my 2 back-to-back commentaries in the tournament.
That's the
Because I
thing.
kept calling it Frogging.
That's the thing, but before mine and Miney's commentary shift, we were in the call with Nixon. It's like this just sounds like French people fucking at this point for frogging.
But yeah, so
I'm sorry to all French people that I've insulted. I love you very dearly. I have family.
and
that
Nixon was like, it's like, yeah, this is a thing. I'm just gonna continue to call it frogging.
yeah, he
Yep.
was like, I'm just gonna do it, and I'm like, fine, you do what you want to do. We're not to
I
get too
did
much into
too.
that debate because we've already talked about it, and I think
At
it's
length.
been and gone now. The tournament has, we've learned. I think the big thing, one
Everyone
thing
is
I will
free to
say on it
practice.
is the debate came at the wrong time. It was at the end of weekend 1, and I said this to Winter. I said, if we want to have this debate and actually talk about banning it, you need to do it before the tournament. Because if you ban it
Yeah,
after
exactly.
weekend 1, that's such a that doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I will add on that
It's
debate.
invalidating. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have
Yeah.
been a really
before.
weird time to do it. But anyway, swing one last question to you, Pax, regarding the trophy. Obviously, you joined the tournament. You were in the Glitchless B tournament. Were you in any way worried that you might win and have to get the trophy to yourself?
Actually, winning myself would have been the best case because I would not have needed to go into trouble of sending them. Because it may or may not have been a pain in the ass to send them.
And it was only one country away. Imagine if it was more.
It would have been funny though if I said when, because it would be he'll just put a video up of him shaking his own hand and then him handing himself a trophy to his other hand and be like, ah yes, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You did very good in that tournament.
I want to thank
Oh
the
yes,
maker
I
of this
did.
trophy.
That would have been really good content, not gonna lie.
It would have been.
Yeah, we
We
could have
need to
had
do
the
that as, like, a
trophy
skit.
ceremony live.
We could have.
I would
Yeah.
have streamed the trophy ceremony from my kitchen or something, and then just, I don't know, like put it with a cable or anything on my cat, and just, I don't know,
I like
let
how
it deliver
specifically
by my
from your
cat.
kitchen and using your cat.
Imagine. Well, imagine it's a thanking himself and then chugging down a celebratory milk.
Like completely overselling it, like, oh, thanks to Paxilinski for actually giving me that trophy for winning the Glitchless B tournament. Damn,
Oh, you're-
such a nice guy.
You're welcome, Paxilinski, for this trophy. Oh, no problem, Paxilinski. Oh,
You just did that thing.
You're
where
the
you
guy.
stand one way, and then when you're talking as this
Yeah.
person, you turn around.
exactly.
Slightly changing the voice.
Ever so slightly.
No. To make it even better, you keep the same voice.
Just the exact.
Just
But it has to be really
Like-
monotone.
Yeah,
like,
just
I was
that
gonna say,
fan.
make it
thank
really
you,
monotone.
Paxilinski, for this trophy.
I was not
Yeah, no
expecting to
worries.
receive a trophy at the end.
Thanks,
Rick!
fam.
Really cool surprise.
I can't
Rick!
believe I actually won. Yeah,
Rick!
that would have been that was actually my biggest fear, that I would actually win. And I talked about this with Nixo because we were obviously talking about like how we like handle the sending. of the parcels. And we obviously also joked about like it would be easiest if I would win. But the amounts of rigged I would have probably read in the chat.
Yeah,
Would
you
you
just
ever
couldn't
think-
announce it
Utopia.
beforehand.
Do you
So
think there would
apparently
have
we had
been-
a special announcement, but not anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you have maybe not done like announced the trophy if you had made it to the final?
No, I would have still announced it because I mean it could have still lost in the final. So
True.
It would
I guess
have just been so much of a shit show if you did win.
it would've been
So
very
it's just
funny.
like just to tell us before. Oh yeah, I'm just giving out a trophy to whoever wins. Hey, I won! Fuck you all!
like right now I'm actually thinking about going all out and actually sending it to myself.
Oh,
Like going
God.
to the post
Yes,
office, addressing the package to my house
Pax, I'm
and
gonna talk
sending
to
it to
you
me.
about this afterwards because I got some ideas. I think we could do something special.
Okay, now I'm scared, but okay.
Is this where it's going to be next time? Pax is going to be sending out participation trophies to everyone.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
medals to
something.
everyone that participates. Now,
Thanks for participating in the upcoming one. War
Have a
Plus
Hershey.
is a trophy.
Have a Hershey's just for you.
but yeah,
no, honestly,
Go on.
Oh,
So-
sorry.
sorry, just one more thing I wanted to add to that. Glitchless A trophy was no problem because Cake won and he was from Germany. Like both of the finalists, like Flo and Cake, Flo would have been even much easier to deliver it to, but obviously with both being in Germany, it was like the easiest. And then came Glitchless B. And yeah, I gotta say, no shout out to the fucking French post
You get
office
shot.
because it took like 2 or 3 months to
What?
actually arrive.
What do you mean?
And-
The tournament was
Seriously?
at the start of April. We're in the middle of May. What do you mean 2 to 3 months?
It was a month and a
It
bit.
felt like that because I actually got a mail that I did not like fully give the name and the address and stuff, and I was like, wait, that can't be because I filled it out online. Like it would have told me that I missed something. And then it
Yeah.
was like, I don't know, a week at the post office, and then I texted Pikain and I said, hey, can you look at this? Because it's the French post office and I don't understand shit on that website. And he was like, yeah, basically they're saying there's something missing on the package, and he updated it, and then I think a week later or something, I don't know, I would need to check the chat logs. He said, okay, like it arrived now finally. And I was just glad that it finally arrived, but French post office really sucked.
I didn't scam you, Pikain, I
It's like-
promise.
And this might be a good moment to announce the sponsor of this episode, the French Postal Service.
Yeah, I would not care. honestly.
The thing is, I had almost a similar situation when sending Vlad a copy of HP1. Like, I was so worried because having to translate from English to Bulgarian isn't necessarily going to be translated well when you go through it, and then it was stuck. It was stuck in the Bulgarian post office for about a week, and then when Vlad arrived, they tried to gaslight him into thinking that the parcel wasn't there.
What?
What?
And it was like,
That's insane.
no, it's there. Check it. A message has been sent that is now at the post office. Like, oh yeah, here it is.
Is that what you mean?
Oh yeah, I just didn't bother looking before. Oh,
Sounds about
funny
right.
what you find when you actually look for stuff.
Because I checked again and I sent it on April 7th, and it arrived on May 6th.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly less than a month.
So it took a month.
Dude,
It took less time for me to send HP1 to Vlad than you to send
From
Big
England
Knight
to
a trophy.
Bulgaria,
Cross
then
one
from
border,
Germany
yeah.
to France.
One more there.
Fuck.
What the hell?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
Perfect
it,
score.
it took like 2 weeks max for it to go to Bulgaria.
The 2 weeks max sounds like a cool nickname. I'm sorry.
I will add real quick to the postal stories my fucking hilarious one from last year when I tried to return. I originally had BT Wi-Fi when I moved into this flat, but it was awful because the connectivity is bad. So I got rid of it and I cancelled it, and they have you return the kit. So I returned the kit, and at Christmas, just before Christmas, I got a letter saying that they hadn't received my return and they were going to send bailiffs round if I didn't deal with it soon, because they put like a fine on your account and they take it away when the equipment's returned. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I call them up and then I'm like, what's going on? And the lady tracks with the information of my order. Apparently, Royal Mail, the UK Postal Service, had tried to deliver my package to BT Telecoms, one of the biggest telecommunication companies in the UK. It tried to deliver it to their return address, had failed evidently, and had just sent it back to their sorting office and had left it there for like 2 months. And I was just like, what the fuck, Royal Mail? You nearly got me like bailiff sent to my house because you couldn't deliver to one of the biggest telecommunication companies in the world's return address. What the fuck?
I knocked on the door, but they weren't there. Whoops.
They were all upstairs at the top of the tower hiding.
Yeah.
They were hiding in fear. Oh no, another return. No.
I just don't
I can't
get
have that.
how that happened.
It'll be the 3rd this month. We're gonna get our payback.
Anyway.
We need to charge Miney 300 quid for this plastic box.
It was 46 quid they were trying to find me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I ain't paying that.
46 quid. That's
Yeah.
still a hell of a lot of. That's almost
yeah,
60 euro. I'm
that's
trying to convert it to
that's definitely a
currency I
lot
understand.
less than what I suggested it was.
Anyway,
Like,
before we get too off topic, because I am
304.
conscious of time, and I did say I was going to try and be stricter on time for this episode.
Oh
But
yeah,
here
and I
we
have
are.
to leave in about half an hour.
So,
Whoops.
Pax, the final question that just sprung to my mind regarding the trophy. Did you have any thoughts on what you would do if the person who won wasn't comfortable with sharing their address?
We thought about it, and we also like had we had the agreement between myself and Nixo that like at the first one, Nixo reached out to Cake and asked if he was comfortable with it. And he was like, yeah, okay. And like we said that Nixo would ask first because people might be more comfortable with sharing the address with Nixo than with like me. Which obviously like Nixo is the big streamer and I'm just like the guy.
who shells out hundreds of subs a month to
Just that shady guy that drops a
I
bunch of subs
guess.
every month.
But
You're
that's
never-
not what people remember.
Yeah, you were a lot more than that, Pax.
Sorry, what?
You're a lot more than just the subs you give. Just to be very clear.
Yeah,
We are
I'm also
joking.
I'm
the
also
Pope,
Pope and a pimp.
Yeah,
yeah, the
and
Pope,
you're a poke, a pope, a pimp,
Poke,
whatever. Carry
Pope,
on.
Poke Pimp.
Carry on,
Um,
sorry.
Yeah, no, but I think what we like agreed on is that obviously it's not mandatory for us to give out the trophy, and it was not like obviously we made the trophies, so it would not be the biggest cash prize also, because then you would be on the same problem. Like you wouldn't have it like in cash, but you would have it in like material. And even though I was like, okay, even if the trophy is made out of gold, and if someone is really that desperate, okay, maybe if it was out of gold, I would have also like melted it and sold it off. But I was like, if someone is really that desperate to sell it, then he should do it. But we wanted to make it like as affordable as possible, basically.
If it was gold, I would have melted it down to a celebratory ring instead. To be like, yeah, I feel like the Super Bowl now.
Yeah, I was about to say like a Super Bowl ring. That also
Yeah.
would work. Yeah.
I'm not aware of this reference. I'm just going to
Oh,
Move
damn.
swiftly on.
Okay, fair enough.
American football.
Yes.
Also, speaking of
No.
rings,
Yeah, we were
Winter's
gonna
just
get
sent
there.
me pictures of books to do with The Lord of the Rings. What the
Ooh.
fuck is happening today? It's the second time we've mentioned something and someone's DM me relating to it. Like, what on earth? That's where I thought you were going. I thought you were going like Lord of the Rings route with that reference.
I
But,
was originally going for that, but I thought that this is a HP podcast, so it'd be a little bad to bring up some of the fantasy competition.
That's fair. Yeah. Well,
But yeah, to get to the end of the story, to wrap it up quickly, basically we just agreed upon that if someone would not be comfortable to share their address, then that's fine, then we would just keep it.
yeah, I
Keep
was
it
gonna
for
say
next year.
probably be nice
Ye-
if Nixo had it. Maybe if it wasn't. I mean, obviously you paid for it, so I really could understand if you kept it. But it would be a cool thing for Nixo to have them and be like, we did this for one tournament. Like, I don't know if you have any plans to do any for future tournaments, and obviously I don't think you'd want to say if you did. I assume.
Maybe.
Don't.
See,
But-
He's gonna send everyone a pill can. I just know it.
full participation trophies for the next tourney.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, thank you, Pax, for sharing about that and a little bit about that. I do appreciate, of course, you. I always appreciate when our guests are very open with us about stuff. Speaking of being very open, so Jamie mentioned it earlier, but we did a commentary together during the Glitchless Speed tournament, and it went very off the rails. And I will, without going into too much detail, I will say that after the week after the Glitchless A tournament, that sort of there was a gap week. My mum ended up going into hospital, and I basically spent most of the week leading up to the Glitchless B tournament in hospital, looking after her. Actually, no, it was in the Glitchless A tournament, wasn't it? I remember now. Sorry, my brain's getting confused. So yeah,
I was gonna say I didn't do any commentary for B because I had a related an incident like
yes.
had arisen during that
Yeah.
time.
Well, it was very like overall it was quite a stressful week, being away from your home and everything because my mum lives in a different city. And I will say, why is bus travel in the UK so bad? Why is it like everything comes out the center of the city rather than like orbital travel? Why is that such a like unheard of concept? Because my mum lives on the outside of the city, and then the hospital is a bit further around the outside. So in order to get there, I had to go into the city center and then back out again. Like,
Logic.
Just take
Yep.
an Uber.
I did honestly on the way back a few times because I was going home like after all the buses were done. Anyway, yeah, so I'd spent like a week or so back over where my mum lives, and I'd had a bit of a stressful week. Not awful, but like parents in hospital, it's not great. And I'd sort of told people about this, and Nixo had sort of said, like if you don't feel up to it, or you don't have to do your commentary. And I'm like, no. When you said that, I'm like, I know, I'm doing my commentary. It's been the thing that's keeping me going all week. I'm doing my commentary, Nixo. And I got back, I set myself up, and I did my first commentary with Nikki. And then Jamie came in, and me and Jamie did a commentary. And now Jamie has said, you said since, haven't you, that you were obviously aware of the fact that I'd had a bit of a shitty week.
Yeah.
So we kind of just had a bit of fun, and
Yeah.
it turned into pure chaos. Like, I will say, Jamie is very much an enabler. I blame you for this, but the commentary, for anyone that hasn't heard it, basically turned into Bicorn, like
Keeping up with the Bicorners.
infatuation. We were
Where every level's Bicorn.
and it was so like literally like I was just like running with it because I think wasn't Nixo running in this match.
Yeah, so it was Nixo Beaver.
Yeah, so we were just running with it, and we're coming out the most randomest stuff. And I'm like sat there like, I hope Nixo doesn't hate me when he listens back to this commentary. Like, we were having so much fun, but chat was loving it. I think there was one person that came in.
One person
like,
who hated it,
and then they got like timed out because the mods were like, "No, fuck off." Everyone's enjoying it. Winter was loving it. Sonia was loving it. I don't know if
It was
Pax,
very,
you were
very
there.
fun.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
But everyone that was there was really
Me
enjoying
neither.
it and having a good laugh. And I think
I
I've said this before, but you get like mixing commentaries in tournaments. You get your portals who will give you like full on in depth like explanations of stuff, and like it's the what was it? It was the final. No, it wasn't the final weekend, was it? It was the. Was it the final weekend or was it the first weekend? I don't remember. No, it was the second weekend, right?
Because I wasn't there in the first, and I remember watching it live.
It was
Yeah.
the second, and then Liam had to drop out the
Oh,
day,
yeah.
the match after.
That was it, yeah. Because I remember, like, I do remember, like, I started thinking to myself, it's not like we're doing this over a final. If we were doing it over a final, I would somewhat
Yeah.
understand. But it was like a random match. Like, not to say it didn't matter, but you know, like we were having fun and chat loved it. We now have a Bicon love emote that I can't remember who made it. Was it Sonia that made it?
Okay, check.
But we have
We have it on
a Bicon love emote. We've got this like Bicon love and all these different
It is indeed Sonia.
things. Thank you.
For Bicon
Henrriik, for
love.
checking. You know, we've got all this like in jokes now, and I was sort of sat there like, I was like, but then I was sort of sat like, I think if I'm being honest, and I've said this to people, including Nixo himself, I really hold Nixo's opinion in high regard, and I think I hold such a high regard on what Nixo thinks of what I do and what I say. Not that sounds really weird to say, but like, I think more than anyone, like, I have a lot of like regard for what Nixo's opinions of me, if that makes sense. So I think I was very worried of like, what would he think about this commentary? But like, I think because the chat loved it so much, I think no matter what he did think, I think he was kind of like, people like it, you know. Like,
it was very, very enjoyable. It was
I don't
very,
want
very
to make
fun.
assumptions on his opinions, obviously, but I am grateful for the fact
he
that he didn't hate it.
He did say to me that they did actually enjoy it. He did say enjoyed it to me.
That's good. I'm glad that
Lovely.
he himself enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I messaged him just like, yeah, I'm sorry for the commentary with Miney. It turned really chaotic, and it's just like it's like no problem. I watched it back and I was laughing, and it made my day, and like it he said he said it was such a wholesome experience. Just because Nixon said that they were always wholesome together, but it was especially wholesome seeing as the situation that occurred for you, and me going out of my way to make it as memey as possible, just to try and improve your mood.
Aww.
That's what made it a lot more entertaining for him, was the fact that I was going out of my way just for that.
Oh, why the fuck am I crying? Henrriik, take over.
I don't know what else to say. I think
Jesus. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you for
that's
sharing that,
basically a
Jamie.
good roundup of the Glitchless Speed tournament. It brings people together
We
and
definitely
makes people
though.
happy.
I think before we wrap up the big discussion and get into the closing points, we cannot talk about Glitchless B and not talk about Pecan. Like, or like Pecan dominated this tournament. Like he got
Because he had
top
Frog
5
in.
Yes, but there was
He
other
grinded.
stuff. He's just a great runner generally of the game. He learned the new strats. Because Glitchless Speed, to be fair to Glitchless Speed, they had a bit longer to, you know, learn the new strats. But, you know, besides just frogging, you know, he became so good at the game. Pax, did you ever cross Pecan in the tournament? I don't remember the bracket very well, to be honest.
No, I did not.
But did you get a chance to see any of his matches at all?
Yeah. I think I was there, not the whole time, but I think Glitchless A and B combined, it was there like 85% of all the games. So I catch most of it.
Yeah.
But
And
Pecan
yeah, it was really impressive, not gonna lie. Because everyone who has tried the strat knows that it's like it is not
Bullshit.
free.
It's very
It definitely
hard to
is not. And I think Miney laughed pretty hard at my when Frog makes you go insane clip in the Tourney channel, like on the Tourney Discord, when I sent in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minute long video where I was actually practicing a bit of the frog strat, and I was just going circles around a tree with the frog.
Oh yeah, that was a good clip.
Yeah.
I'm sad in a way because I wasn't actually a runner in the tournament. I was only commentating. I can't now see, or I can now because I've signed up for tournament hosting the commentary for the Warblers tourney. But because as a commentator, I then lose that role when tournaments aren't happening. We're switching tournaments, so I then can't go back and look normally at the Glitchless tournaments.
Yeah,
That's
same.
I kind of wish there was
I'm
like
always
a
very
commentary
sad.
role for like the people
I've
that did
talked
the
about
commentary.
it with the man in charge, but he said that he's always done it this way, and it makes sense because if you know
Oh,
this
Yeah,
way,
that's fair.
every time there's a tournament, you can immediately see who's got tech for that specific tournament, so you don't have to like add different roles, or you don't have to ask people, "Oh, are you in this one?" No, I was only an X tech person.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay,
think
sorry.
when when the
Makes sense.
same like channels are used for multiple tournaments, like the Glitchless one, the Warblers one, etc. I think that makes sense. I think for the more like just on their own tournaments, like even though I didn't take part in the HP4 tournament, I gave myself that role because I helped to organize it. So I wanted to always be able to look back at those channels, and obviously I helped the bingo as well.
Collusion, I see.
Well, I think it's fair, Blaze, who also organised it, he took part, but I was just there for like the production side of things. I wasn't.
of course.
I did a lot of the. Also, scheduling tournaments is painful, I will say. But to be fair, it
True.
was pretty fun. Something else I was going to talk about briefly. Oh yeah, speaking of scheduling and like behind the scenes and tech stuff, I want to say, especially because he's here, a big shout out to the mods in tournament settings, but particularly Nixo's tournaments, because like Nixo's mods are always on the ball. Like I know Winter works hard to prepare cheat sheets. I got a telling off when I made a cheat sheet for the bingo tournament once. I actually got
Yeah,
a really bad telling off.
rightfully so.
Rightfully.
I was
heck
like,
you, Winter,
upset
best
he's-
mod.
I said it to her. She's like, Miney, why do you do this? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist
It's not
making a
because
cheat
you
sheet.
know it's not because she doesn't want you to work on stuff. It's because she knows you have a lot on your plate.
I know, and I appreciate that. That's
Stop
one of the
working
things
too much.
I love about Winter. She's very good at tough love. But anyway, I
Yeah,
did just
indeed.
want to say a big shout out to the mods, particularly Winter as well, because like I say, Winter, as far as I'm aware, is one of the main people that makes those cheat sheets. She's also Canadian, so when she gets up really early for the start of these tournaments, usually she's
Yeah,
there at the very
sometimes it's
beginning.
like 4 or 5 a.m. and
And
she's up there.
she's there and she's up. And I said this during my commentary. I can't remember when, but at some point it came up in commentary because I wanted to, shout that out because I think that's something worth shouting about. But also, like, just I love the coordination of like we'd hit transition, and like between Pax, like Keldeo, Sonya, and Winter, like the title would be changed, the commands would be changed, there'd be a prediction. Like, so I think if I'm not mistaken, you all took one of them each and would do them at every transition. And it was just really funny to see like them all come through at the same time. The prediction happened, the title change. It was just cool to see that like
Yeah.
teamwork.
Even if it wasn't coordinated, it definitely felt like it.
As someone who has done tournaments before, where like me and Winter have done a lot of the work ourselves, to sort of see everyone taking a role like that, it was kind of cool to see. And I will say, I say that not as a dig. It's just but yeah, you guys are
GG
awesome.
mods.
You are very. I mean, I suppose with the channel. I mean, the biggest channel I've ever modded for has got like 2,000 people who
Oh.
are following it, and it's sort of like actually well, that's a lie because now I mod for Flow, but Flow is a different kettle of fish. Like the channel that I had had over 2,000 followers. Like we'd hop in a VC when we'd mod, and we'd have them in the VC, and we'd server deafen them so that we could hear them, but they couldn't hear us, and it just made communicating and everything better and easier for us, and it was definitely a benefit.
Yeah.
But that stream was
Yeah.
more requiring of it because of the nature of it. Like there was a lot of like sound effects and stuff that would come through the stream that obviously we just needed to be able to hear the streamers, so having that direct line was quite useful. Okay, does anyone else have anything they want to say on the Glitchless Speed tournament before we move on to the highlights of our month?
Glitchless Speed PogChamp.
I'm just glad Portal didn't force me into it.
For once.
I
You
didn't.
can't say
I had,
no, Jamie.
I
You
had
are
to
allowed to
think.
say
I was
no.
like, was
Apparently,
I was
I have
you?
absolutely no choice. I have absolutely no choice for Warplus because there's exactly 16 people.
Now you have to.
I have no
Jamie.
choice, and
I'm sorry, Jamie.
I'm the slowest person.
Our prayers will be with you.
They will indeed.
To whichever divine being you want.
I'm the slowest person, so I'm probably up against Flo first, and I'm gonna get ass handed to me on a silver platter.
Just if you get Flo, just do like, can Flo beat the game twice while I beat it once? So it gets a little fairer.
I know I'm shit, but I'm not that shit.
Exactly, that way you win. It's rigged for you. I'm trying to help you, Jamie.
Okay.
I don't think he'll agree to that.
Ah, damn it.
So, moving on then, if no one else has anything else to say about the Glitchless Speed tournament, to our highlights of the month, which is where everyone in the podcast will take a moment to highlight
100 words or less. Sorry, just because I have to go soon.
All right, we'll get to you, Henrriik. We'll get to you.
Alright.
But
All right.
yeah, so we're gonna take a moment and we're gonna sort of talk about now. It could be people have done more personal stuff, but again, it can be something personal, but it can also be ideally be something to do with speedrunning. And for me, my personal highlight of this month has been was commentating the Glitchless Speed Tourney final with Nixo. I still feel like Nixo put me with him to make sure I didn't talk about Bygone too much after listening back to the A tournament commentary. But it was such an honor to get to commentate the Glitchless Speed final, and then to get to be the person again, like I did in Bingo, that's like, "Hey, you're amazing." Because Nixo was ill during the B weekend, and he still put his absolute heart and soul into that tournament, and he did an incredible job at organizing it and running it. And I still remember when I did that little speech in the Bingo tournament, and I got cut off by Pax, who dropped 100 subs. Like, I'm like, Nixo, you did this, and I think Pax was in agreement dropping 100 subs, but Nixo got very distracted by it. I'll always
What do you
remember that.
guys remember so much better than me when I give subs?
Max, you're the one who's supposed to remember where you spend your money.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
No,
That's
His-
poor financial advice.
But as
his bank tracks it for him. He doesn't need to.
Ah, of course.
As
Just
we've
looks at the funny
as we've
numbers.
already established today, Pax is a very relatable person.
Very relatable,
So
yeah.
we'll add that to the relatability. He doesn't remember where he spent his money, and he has too much money that he needs to work out how to spend more of it.
But yeah, alright, we're gonna put Mr. Rich Guy on the spot. Paxi, what's your highlight of the month?
Monka?
It can be anything.
Wait, what? Sorry.
What's your highlight of the month?
My highlight of the month, like
Of the month
in
of April.
April.
April,
Shit.
May, which one?
Oh, I think I
Oh.
know what you're trying to refer to. If our brain cells do link up,
Go on then.
I might need to promote something I have done to Flow.
Oh.
How
past-
many? How much? How
Oh,
much? Go on.
No, I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
Flo can tell himself how much money he took for this.
And you're still waiting for it.
We have to wait until it arrives. Actually, he got to pick.
Okay,
He got to pick himself.
Oh,
But
okay. So...
yeah, we sent him like 4 different ones, and Flo got to pick his own maid dress to wear on stream, and we were actually haggling if how much it would take for him to do his Connect sub goal in the maid dress. I'm not gonna discuss any financial stuff, but it was a lot.
It was poor financial financial advice that day for good old Paxi.
Nah, it's fine. I only paid for the
Paxton doing the
mattress.
community a massive service, and we thank you for your service, Pax.
Yeah, indeed. Jamie, how about you? What did you find to be your highlight of April?
Finding out that Portal had once again forced me into another tournament.
As per usual, I feel like that's your highlight every month.
Yeah. He shared his screen. He entered into my information into his own sign-up form, and sent it through right in front of my face, knowing the absolute terror.
I still remember Mark got signed up for the HP4 tournament, and we still don't know who that was. Because Portal, I think there was a reason why we were sure it wasn't Portal, and because Portal was like, no, I normally would do that, but it actually wasn't me. And we're like, who the hell signed Mark up there?
Mysterious person.
Very
I wonder.
Actually.
I didn't do anything, I swear. All right.
Oh, I wish I did it, but no.
No one signs me up for tournaments, fortunately, because you can basically say I'm a washed out speedrunner at this point. I haven't had a single run on any game since the 14th of June 2023. It's been almost a year since my last speedrun. So whenever we get to the highlight of the month, I never know what to pick because I'm usually not involved in anything, even though I'm everywhere. So I will say the commentary. I'm gonna copy Miney's homework, but change the wording slightly so it doesn't. And I will say the commentary for the Glitchless Speed tournament because I finally, after over a year of trying to get things right, and even him having to drop out because he was ill that day, I finally got to commentate with Luke, and it was really, really fun. Luke took most of the spotlight, and I mostly served as a co-commentator to his antics. But it was really, really good fun. So that was my highlight. That's true. He has a perfect commentator voice.
He said, he has I said photogenic voice is the best wording I could think of.
Yeah, it's like when you picture someone doing a radio show or commentating a game of the Premier League. That's what you imagine. That's the type of voice.
And that's the worst that Miney said to me when I did my first hosting shift for the speedrun recap. And it was like, okay, I don't think my voice is that good. Please.
No, your voice is good.
Honestly, I love it's such a joy when I get to listen back to all of the
It's a very chill, very smooth sounding
workout.
voice.
I just hate hearing it back on the
Like
replay.
ASMR.
It's
everyone hates it at first. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Take it from the guy who did theater.
And that's another thing about when I was like, oh, you should do ASMR. It's like,
when did I say that?
You said that last year.
Oh, okay. I vaguely remember it now.
Cotton 4K, Miney. You have to say for yourself.
Last year it was like, have you ever considered doing ASMR? And it's like, no. No.
Did I actually say that?
Miney just had a whiz. I'm not gonna say it, and he wanted to hear your voice more. Kappa Prime.
Probably.
Anyway, this
it was probably why I was picked to do this month.
This is about the time where we have to wrap things up.
Yeah, I'm going to very quickly say that
conveniently,
very convenient over there. I'm going to very quickly
legal
say
reasons. I'm joking.
Yeah, so obviously this recap we won, we haven't really spoken too much about editorial stuff. And first, I know why that is because we have a brand new podcast with the Debrief, which is hosted by me and soon to be joined by Henrriik this month, I believe. Henrriik has said yes to that. So,
when did I say that?
No!
I asked you on stream, and you said yes.
Miney's being like Portal now, so suddenly carrying up the things he doesn't want to do.
Schedule. All right.
It's a 30-minute recording. It's not live.
30 minutes. All right, then it's good.
Yeah. So it'll be. We also changed it from the first of the month to the last of the month. So we'll be having it on I believe the 30th of May is the last day this month.
No, so you have to no. Miney, count your months.
31st, sorry. So yeah, we'll obviously be recording it a bit beforehand. It won't be live, but essentially it's like an editorial podcast about the channel. And as our head of quality control, Henrriik seemed like a good person to have on there to bounce off of because I listened back to the first episode and I'm really bad on my own. I
I'm
realize that now.
definitely very good at quality and control. I'm an expert at those. I got hired without submitting my CV. That was why. All right. So
Anyway,
that's about gets us to the very, very end of recap rewind of this month. So, Paxi, Jamie, our esteemed guests, if you want to say some closing words, so thank your sponsors. This is the time.
Thank you, Miney, for finally letting me free of the cage with my mini copies of HP6, and for everyone else, don't forget to submit HP6 runs. I want to feel useful. Thank you.
That's a solid advertisement for your
And
own
HP6
work.
PogChamp.
HP6 PogChamp. Paxi?
I want to thank also for. I want to also thank for someone letting me out of the cage, but in my case, it's the mod basement. Shout out to Nixo for actually letting me out of the mod basement to do this today. It was kind of a fight, but since I got the over 1,000 subs on his channel now, I think he was like it was a bit easier to
Let's
discuss
get a
this
bit of
topic.
fresh air.
He bribed his way out of the basement for 2 hours.
Yeah, basically, like I had to pay like a toll, you know.
He gets 2-hour walks now
Pay the toll to cross the
every single
bridge.
week.
Yeah, basically. So no.
Fair enough.
All right.
And Henrriik, do you have any final comments you want to make regarding
No,
this one?
I'm not sponsored by anyone, even though I really wanted to be sponsored by the team that made 5GB.
No, that's
But
a shame.
unfortunately, I don't think they exist anymore.
I dig.
And Miney, do you want to thank anyone?
I want to thank myself. I did it all by myself. No. The final thing I want to say is please do go check out Polygon this weekend, the next weekend. So on the 25th and the 26th of May over on twitch.tv/Podathon. I will link it in the description below if you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify. So please do go and check it out, and if you can, donate some money to the Trevor Project. We are just over $1,000 away from raising $10,000 across all Potterfun events, way back from Potterfun 1, back in February 2015, to now. We are like just over $1,000
Been a
away.
long
And if
time
we can,
coming.
if I don't know if we'll get that done at Potagon, but Potagon, yeah, I said it right,
Potagon.
I don't know if we'll do it at
Yes.
Polygon, but I'm sure if not, we'll do it at Potterfun 10 later this year.
It's gonna be fun to break another digit barrier pretty soon.
I'm honestly
Exciting.
really excited about that. Like raising, I mean, obviously I've only been an organizer for the past few events, but $10,000 from the HP community to good causes, being Lumos, Direct Relief, and now the Trevor Project, is an incredible achievement, and I can't wait till we hit that. Also, we're very close
Definitely
to
all.
we are very close to 3,000. I think it's 3,000 or 2,000 subscribers, followers, even on the Parliament Twitch channel. So if you're not looking, go and drop that a
A
follow.
lot of people already, but we need one.
Imagine if it was subscribers.
But
Definitely
yeah,
a lot of definitely a lot of causes worth helping with.
But yeah,
All right.
that's going to be it for today's episode, though. Thank you very much to our guests and my fellow co-host Henrriik. Thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.